Welcome back to Roadmap, Autotrader UK's Product and Tech Podcast, and we've got an exciting one today. It's a fun topic. So we're going to be talking about the Autotrader Car Hunt, which was a marketing activation that we ran over the last few months. And to do that, we've got Tom and Hannah here with us. So do you want to give us a bit of an intro? Because I know you've both had quite interesting journeys into your roles as well. So do you want a bit of an intro, what you do now, and then how you got to your current role at AT?
Cool.
You
Hannah?
kick off, go on.
All right. So thanks, Callum, for the intro. Tom. I was actually started my career in this room, more or less, creating these podcasts with the guys behind the camera. Started in video production. And then about just over a year ago, moved down to London to join Hannah and the rest of the social team creating our social content. Yeah. So that's how I kind of started.
Yep, and I'm Hannah, so I'm a social media exec. So I work alongside Tom, Amber, Ursa and James. I've been at Autotrader for nearly 3 years now. In terms of like my background, I used to work at a law firm and I was a legal assistant there. So I was working in the family department, working on like mostly divorce and matrimonial finance cases, but then just kind of decided that wasn't the path for me. So wanted to pursue marketing, found an apprenticeship at Autotrader, and then that's how I ended up here really. So yeah.
So you're actually doing legal work as well.
Yeah,
that must have been a massive change between the two.
Yeah, huge change. But yeah,
well, I'm glad you found a good spot. We're going to be talking about the car hunt. In your own words, I guess, what is it to start with? What is, for the people that might not have seen, some of the content that you guys have been producing over the last few months, what is the Autotrader Car Hunt?
Wow. Well, it was
big question.
Well, it was something that consumed our life for like what?
Over 6 months.
How long would you say? About 6 months. So for the people that don't know about it, it was a social activation in support of our new car campaign, our new car marketing campaign here. And essentially it was our team's responsibility to convey that message, put it on social, and kind of engage our audience through means of doing this like out of home activation where we were running this competition where we essentially hid 100 toy cars all over the UK across 10 different cities. And I did get that right, 100 cars.
1,000 cars.
1,000 cars. I said 100. I definitely got that wrong.
6 months you were working on this.
Sorry. Did we even do this? Yeah. It was 1,000 cars across the UK, 10 different cities, 100 in each city. And we basically released content to show the public where we hid these cars. And then it was the public's job to go out and find the little red toy cars, and basically one of them had the chance, one person had then the chance to win a brand new car worth £65,000. So that was the incentive. And then we were going to feed the new car message throughout this campaign as a part of our kind of marketing priority. So that was the kind of rough overview of it.
Yeah, just to add to that, so participants had to basically find a car, snap a picture with it, put it on their Instagram story and tag us in it, and that's how they entered. And then once you've done that, you get entered into the prize draw. So yeah, that's kind of how it worked.
Yeah. And we obviously already had this new car campaign running, I suppose, beforehand, right?
Yeah.
How did someone come up with the idea that, you know what, to support that, let's hide a load of cars? Like, how did the idea originate? Where did it come from?
I would say it came off the back of, so we did last year the Ultimate Car Hunt Live, which was to support our valuations tool. So we hid a car somewhere in the country, and then we went live on all of our social platforms, and we gave clues away on that live stream as to where the car was and the mileage and the reg of the car, so that people could basically find out what the valuation was, and the first person to find the car and give us the correct Autotrader valuation would basically win it. So we did that and it was really successful, but we decided that we wanted to like upscale, do it bigger and better, make it more accessible to everyone in the UK. Yeah. So we knew we wanted to do something like this, and then obviously with new car happening, we thought it'd be a great opportunity to basically upscale that activation we did last year. Yeah.
Because if it wasn't stressful enough last year,
Yeah.
we wanted to just up the ante altogether.
Yeah, I remember watching the live stream last year when we were doing that.
Yeah.
Being stressed myself.
And that was
I wasn't even
brilliant.
part of it.
That was brilliant last year because that was literally when I joined the team. That was my first day on the job.
Yeah.
More or less was the live stream, which brought with it a kind of different kind of level of pressure because it was live.
Yeah.
This was more, I suppose, spread out over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And yeah, as Hannah said, it was just to raise the stakes a little bit more, get more people involved.
Yeah.
That was the goal.
It was a white Tesla, wasn't it? And
That was it, yeah.
in the
key park.
Yeah.
in the car park next to our head office.
We got a bit of stick for that.
Yeah.
For hiding the car in the car park opposite the office. And we had,
It's the most convenient spot.
the
to hide
grand reveal. I think at the time we just wanted to make life a bit easier for ourselves in terms of the hiding spot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah.
So quite a tough question maybe, but why do we do things like this? Like, why do we do these types of activations as a business? Because it's obviously something that as you said, we've done the one with the Tesla, the valuation one, and now we're doing it for new car, and I imagine we'll be doing things again in the future. So what's the purpose behind them?
Yeah. What do you reckon, Anne?
I think blending like digital with real world is such a fun, refreshing way to land like a brand message. And I don't know, I think these interactive campaigns just stick in people's minds more. So I think sometimes it's nice to like push the boat out, be bold.
100%. I think, in a world where you are surrounded by so much content all day, brands are wanting to put their stamp on consumers. I think by doing something where the audience can feel like they engage and have a good experience and a good time, regardless of whether they win or not, and allowing your brand to be associated with that feeling that you create is kind of invaluable. Mm-hmm. So that is, I would say, the reason why we wanted to do that and show up in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the car hunt specifically, did you have aims going into it that you kind of set like targets that you wanted to meet?
Yeah, so this campaign was like an awareness piece. So we were focusing mostly on reach, and we wanted us to basically land this message with as many people as we could. So our targets were around like new followers, reach, and then content views. So we set targets of gaining 20k new followers, 5 million accounts reached, and then it was
25 million content views.
20 million, I think.
Or 20
yeah,
million,
20 million content
overall.
views. So those were our targets, and we based those off Ultimate Car Hunt Live, basically.
Right,
so we just sort of formulated them from what results we got from that campaign.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you set those numbers? Like, what do you go off? Because it's stuff
Yeah.
you say, oh, actually, I think, like 10,000 more followers, but you actually went off the previous campaign to set the target.
Yeah, it's a good benchmark.
Yeah, it's difficult because it is different, but that's what we went off, Yeah.
Cool. So thinking about, you've had this idea, you've got some targets. It's a crazy idea. You've got to hide 1,000 toy cars in loads of cities around the UK.
I know.
Where did you start? Like, you've got the brief, you've come up with the idea, you've locked it all in. Where did you start from a logistical perspective to turn it into a reality?
Yeah. Would it be worth putting like a bit of a timeline on it, potentially, and working back from just to see like when we started like really putting the pieces together? Because we went live in at the end of February.
Yeah.
And then I would say we really started pulling this together as a realistic plan back in November.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
So in November, what those first few calls or meetings that you had, what did they kind of entail?
I would say the first thing that we did really was bringing the agency on board. So we partnered up with an experiential agency called Collective Studios. The reason we did that is because this was such a large scale activation. We'd never done anything like it before, and this agency had a lot of experience working with other big brands on similar types of activations, so it just made sense for us to bring them on board to get some help with it. So yeah, I'd say that was the first sort of thing, really.
Yeah, I suppose early on we like knowing our limits and knowing what we need to outsource, I think was important in order to be realistic in terms of managing what we can control. So yeah, as Hannah said, bringing an agency on board early on to just see essentially what scale of task we have in front of us. Yeah. And then we work back from there. But you work with the agency a lot in terms of like the creation of these toy cars, because I think that was the key. If we're going to go hide them, we got to create them. And we went through quite a lot of iteration.
Oh God, yeah, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, you'd have thought that might be maybe like one of the easier bits.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
we
you would
thought
have
that.
thought so.
We thought that. I mean, we were looking on eBay a lot to try and figure out if we could like bulk order like model like die cast toy cars.
Job lot 1,000 toy cars.
And you know, because obviously like we were working within a budget, and I think that worked. That it was really expensive to do that. And
yeah, they also would have had to have gone through about 5 different factories because we'd have to get them debadged, resprayed in the found out colour.
Yeah.
Then obviously we had a QR code on the cars, so we'd have to get people to like stick on the QR code stickers as well. So it was just
stick on. So it was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
But so my stepbrother, I was with him over Christmas, and he is in the world of 3D printing. And it was like a eureka moment. And I just thought, I was just like, what if we just like made the cars ourselves? Then we could control the exact design. We could put all of the Autotrader branding on it.
Yeah.
We could emboss the QR code into each car. So then I brought that to the guys, and I thought, you know, have we thought about 3D printing? And then it was kind of pretty much everyone got on board pretty quickly. And then we gave that brief to the agency essentially to source their contacts and see, is it possible to 3D print cars? And more importantly, is it in our budget?
Yeah.
And luckily, we came up with, we should have brought one actually.
We should have.
Should have brought one.
Yeah. Is that so that's the route we went down. We found a 3D printing company that could actually make them from scratch.
Exactly.
To spec.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was the first big stage, I think, to get that nailed down. Because then we had something to actually go out and hide.
Yeah. And is like working with an agency fairly standard for us on these kind of things, something we've done before, or was that quite new?
Yeah, we worked with an agency when we did the Ultimate Car Hunt Live. So yeah, it is something we've done before. And I guess if there's some like a new campaign where there's a lot that we haven't done before, if it's quite large scale, then we'll tend to bring people on board if we need to.
Yeah. And we pick them based on kind of their specialisms and how they want to support it. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I think we always look for an agency to be really collaborative. We don't want them to just go off with the idea and do things and then let us know. We want them to work really closely with us on it. So,
and they were a big part of it. And we keep calling them the agency, like the agency. They were called Collective Studios. They're based in London, so shout out to Collective Studios and Laura especially.
So they're a business in themselves who specialize on these, like supporting with these kind of
and came recommended really through the agency that were looking after the whole new car campaign. So but then it was like, so it was on them to make the cars, to organize like the filming, the hiding places themselves, because we're in 10 different cities. They needed the councils needed warning that what we were going to do, essentially. So it was on them to kind of negotiate and say, get approval for each of these 1,000 hiding spots. But dealing with 10 different city councils, some were really quick, others literally came down to the week before we went live as to whether or not we could even go ahead with it. Don't want to name drop the city. It was Birmingham Council. It was Birmingham Council. They were a little difficult to but we got it through in the end, and it was just so that was just, again, stuff you don't think about really.
So the agency how were they working out where in these cities to put 100 toy cars? How did that work?
Well, we did give them a brief. So we actually chose the cities, and we chose those based off population and then like making sure there's a good spread across the UK. And then in terms of the hiding locations themselves, we gave them a brief. We basically wanted all the cars to be placed in like high footfall areas. We were looking at universities, parks, near shopping centres, that sort of thing. So we just gave them a brief, and then they were just sort of, there was a locations, what was he, manager? Locations manager, and he was just,
what a job.
he spent so much time just on Google Maps, like trying to find these different hiding spots and where we could place the cars. And of course we needed to make sure they were also like not too close together, otherwise someone could just go and hoover a bunch up in one
It was a real
area.
fine line. Locations manager worked hard
on
making sure it's the right ones. But I mean, every single hiding spot, all 1,000, was was laid out on a spreadsheet, and it was the exact coordinates and a description of where the car should be hidden was laid out, months prior. So yeah, that was part of that job in that sense.
Yeah. So you got your cars, which was more difficult than you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
You've got your locations, which was more difficult than you thought it was going to be. You've literally got a locations manager to find the spots to put them in.
Yeah.
A massive part of this is around the posts, so the content and the content strategy. So I'll try to get that
Very
term in,
good,
Tom.
Callum. I love
Very well
that.
trained. How did you look to build that? Because it's all about reach, it's all about getting your followers, it's all about engaging with people. If no one's going out to find the cars, then all the effort that you put in so far has not been worth it.
Absolutely.
So how did you build up that content strategy, figuring out what to post, when to post, all that kind of stuff? Was that something we did in-house as well, or was that the agency?
So
All in-house,
in-house,
yeah. The content was almost in two parts. There was the content for the actual activation itself, so the hiding spots and our own internal promotion coming from our channels, and then there was the publication support, which Hannah worked on in terms of going out into these into these cities and making sure it's being seen by the right people.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to touch on that first, that side.
Yeah. So this was like a first for us. We've never done this before, but we thought, what better way to reach these people in these cities than to work with some local publications and get them to create some content. So we worked with Secret Media Network. So they have the Instagram pages, Secret London, Secret Manchester, etc. We worked with the Manc, and we worked with a couple of independent ones in Cardiff and Newcastle. So they produced like a combination of editorial and social content that went out in the promo period and in the live period. And yeah, that really helped us to just reach all those people in those cities. And I think without that, I think that was like a really important part of it, to be honest. I don't know if we would have got as many people searching if we didn't do that activity, but yeah, it was a huge job that, because we had over 20 pieces of content go out, but we only had about 3 months to get all of that sorted. But yeah, so that was a big part of it.
Yeah, and it was these publications, I mean, it was the people in the cities that follow these publications, these pages, to want to know what's going on in their city at any given time. So yeah, it was key to kind of, I think, show up on them and get them to promote it for us, essentially. And that was, so as Hannah said, that was like the promoting it. And then in terms of the content we put out, I think we sat down and realized, okay, how much content do we actually need here? Because if we're going out and like giving the clues from our social page on our Instagram as to where to find these cars, we need to have enough content to give out to give these people. So I went in January with the support of video production. Big shout out to them. Couldn't have done it without them. We went out in January, and I personally went to 6 of the 10 cities. And I split that over 6 days, essentially. And I went to Cardiff and Bristol and Manchester on the first 3 days, back to back, traveling in it was like 3 different hotels, like loads of miles with my camera, another freelancer supporter, and we went to 25 individual hiding spots in each city. And while that seemed like doable on the surface, when I was sat, in my, nice cozy office thinking, I could do that. When it was -2 in Cardiff, and I realized I had to get from one side of the city to the other to get back to the train station to go to Bristol the next day, it was, it was really tough, I think, in terms of making sure you get the content, and not only get the content, but make sure it's really accurate. Because the last thing you want to do is go to all the effort of filming and then for the hiding spots to be slightly wrong, and you're giving out information that's not usable come activation. So yeah, real big effort, I think, from the whole team in order to get all of the content required. And
then were they mainly teasers of the hiding spots?
It was. Well, it was. So this, going back to the location manager, we looked at the spreadsheet that they brought to us, and it was going to those exact coordinates of where the cars were going to be hidden come day of activation. and filming my hand going down, placing a car, and then giving, you know, a little insight as to where it is in the city.
Yeah.
So that was the video assets essentially, and then we had a ton of graphical static posts as well that we posted. So we had a map with all the pins of where all the hiding spots were. And what else did we put out? That was and then we kind of compiled all of the clues together per city, so people could get as much information as possible, because we wanted these cars to be found at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, that was our goal, I think, in terms of content. It was like, make sure these cars get found, because for every car that was found, that was a post on someone else's story tagging Autotrader.
Yeah.
So that was a huge part of why we were doing it in the first place.
Yeah. And for the publication content that we arranged, is that something that they shot, or did we have to, like, how did that all work, building those posts up?
No, so yeah, they created that content in their own style, but we just briefed it in, and then they'd send it to us, and we'd get like 2 rounds of feedback on it, just to make sure like the key messaging was in there and things like that. But yeah, the content all turned out really, really good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and it was interesting, wasn't it? Because I think the Man Can Secret Network, they're obviously like big players in the social media world, but then we were like in Newcastle, it was a bit of a one-man band, wasn't it? And it was just interesting, I suppose, like dealing with these different publications as from the client's perspective.
Cool. So got cars, got hiding places, we've got photos of the hiding places to post, and an idea about the content strategy that we want to achieve, and the publications that might support us. How are we getting all those 1,000 cars to the 100 hiding spots in each of those cities? What was the process of getting them there? And were there any, I know that there might have been, were there any kind of mishaps in getting the toys to where they needed to be? How did that go?
Yeah.
Oh, Hannah, I'm still too scarred from it. So you can take over.
Yes, so the agency actually hired local crews in each of the cities who would go out in the early hours of the morning. I think it was about 6 a.m.
Yeah. Right.
They'd go out, drop the cars in each of the locations. And then, do you want to chat through Manchester? What happened there?
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because it was the first day we launched. So it was the 24th of February.
Yeah.
As you said, we've done all this hard work that we've just explained. We got to the point where everyone was like really ready to go. And Manchester was the first city we were launching. And then we were going to subsequently launch the 9 others after.
Yeah.
So this was the one
It's a big deal.
that was going to kick it off, right? And we were assured by the agency who were dealing with the logistics in hiding all the toy cars that all of the cars would be dropped by midday. And we got a call about 11 saying that's going to be pushed back a little bit. But at that point, we already told everyone in Manchester, go out searching, you know, the cars are going to be dropping. We were releasing the areas in Manchester where the cars were being dropped. And unfortunately, it kind of, as the hours were ticking over, it got to about 3 p.m. and we realized that one of the riders unfortunately had a bit of an incident and actually went home with the toy cars still on their bag, still in their bag.
A full bag of the toy cars.
So we've got a horde of Mancunians out searching for these toy cars that currently weren't finished being dropped. So we had to quickly pivot and make sure we got those toy cars back, hidden in the right places. And that was just, you know, kind of, I think it was a bit of a wake-up call to us that we've spent so long controlling what we tried to control.
Yeah.
And then we're out in the big wide world. Stuff happens outside of your control.
Yeah.
But luckily that was just a first day hitch, and the rest of the activation went really well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it
funny
doesn't
story.
always run as smooth as you'd like, but we got there in
At least
the
it was
end.
kind of the first day, and you
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a good time for it to happen because it all went smoothly after that,
Yeah.
didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And it must have been interesting trying to track what was happening over those days when you were releasing them. Like, there's people out there looking for cars, taking photos, posting it on their Instagram. There's a lot of data. We like data at Autotrader, but there's a lot of data there to capture. How did you manage all that? Like, everyone that had entered the competition, you know, their photo that they put on Instagram, did you manage to use that stuff for content yourselves? How did that all work? like when you were actually live and people were finding the cars?
Yeah, it was a huge job, to be honest. So there wasn't actually like a tool that we could use that would scrape the data for us. So we
Right.
had to do it all manually. So there was a team of about maybe seven of us, and we had like a bit of a rota going for those 2 weeks where people would, on each day, they'd be looking through all the entries that were coming through, making sure that the entry met all the criteria that it needed to, so that we were tagged, that it showed the car in the picture. And then we also got the participants to send us a unique code that was on the bottom of the car, just to make sure we didn't have any like scams or anything like that. So the person that was collecting the data had to check all of those, and we had hundreds of coming through like every single day. We were working into the evenings, we had to work on the weekends. So it's a huge job. But yeah, we had like a spreadsheet that we were putting all the data into.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a stressful time actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And it was waking up in the morning and, you know, a new city would activate and you're just like, what have we got? What have we got to deal with today?
More
And
data
it's
to
like,
capture on the massive spreadsheet.
yeah. But no, fortunately we had an amazing team, and it was worth mentioning during those weeks that it wasn't just the social team. It was, we had help throughout the business that were, you know, helping with that data scraping and community management. So it was a real team effort.
Yeah. Were there many people over the course of the project from around the business that helped? Like any shout outs?
Oh yeah, loads of shout outs.
How long
Where
have
do
we
we
got?
start?
Oh, we're on 25 minutes already. So.
Yeah, I won't make
Yeah.
you pick people, but yeah, lots of people got involved, I assume.
Creative Studio.
Yeah. Creative Studio, I mean, huge. It could not have done it without their support.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost testament to the resource we have at our disposal at Autotrader, that we have such a talented in-house agency that can execute a full-scale consumer social activation like this and create all the content, and not just create the content, but actually be involved from inception and build up the art direction and everything. So yeah, huge shout out to those guys, and Martin especially.
Yeah.
Great Martin.
Shout out Martin. Cool.
But yeah.
Also legal.
Yes.
Which they're probably all sick of us, to be honest, because we're always coming to them with a new campaign.
Yeah.
But
They're giving me dirty
they're
looks
amazing.
on the sixth floor. No,
Is that getting all like the TNCs and like making sure
exactly.
everything was done properly?
Yeah. And video production, commercial partnerships as well.
Yeah.
Consumer marketing, of course.
Yeah.
Anyone
Yeah.
else?
God,
wanna forget anyone.
we'll have forgotten someone. I mean, obviously our social team.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
core team. So Amber, James, Holly, Nicole, Ellie.
Yeah.
So
And Laura and Laura McNally as
Yeah.
well, from
Yeah.
kind of just steering it
Yeah.
and giving us I suppose the support and feeling really empowered to go and make
it
this thing
forward.
happen and
Yeah.
and get the results I
Yeah.
think that we were aiming for. So
Cool. So cars are down. People are starting to find them. You're starting to gather that data. Any funny entries? Any like shout out some of the posts that you saw during that time?
Yeah, there were so many funny entries and stories that came out of this activation. We had a guy that was he in Edinburgh, Tom, the one that went to Glasgow as well?
there was a guy. So they were messaging us asking, you know, how many cars are left, whatnot.
Yeah.
And you're trying to like reply to people and give people, information and stuff like that. So there was this guy that literally booked the day off, started looking in Edinburgh, could not find a car, was out searching all day. And then randomly 2 days later popped up when we were activating in Glasgow, and he actually found a car. He woke up crack of dawn, was the first out on the street and found a car. And it was just, it hit home. Just, you spend so long trying to prep for this, and actual people really like love it
Yeah.
and get involved and really like engage with the game. And that's just what we wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also had a couple of guys on bikes that actually made friends with each other, which was so
that's nice.
wholesome.
Yeah.
And a few people, their dogs actually brought one back on their dog walk, so that was
Brilliant.
nice
Yeah.
to see. Yeah. Any others?
Well, you could. There was Lenny, Amber's friend.
Oh yeah, Lenny.
Lenny. Who was Lenny?
Yeah. I'll let you say.
Yeah, so he wasn't the most tech savvy, and he did find a toy car, and Amber had to, I think she spent a couple of hours trying to teach him how to put up an Instagram story. He kept posting it to his grid.
That's what you needed to do to enter. You needed to post an Instagram story. We really wanted Lenny to enter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we had quite a few of those though, where we had to like teach them how to enter. But yeah.
But Lenny got his entry in.
He did.
He did.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, he didn't win, but he's now got Instagram. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about winners.
Yeah.
How did that go about? I assume we were just randomly selecting based on everyone that's entered, picking a winner.
Yeah. We weren't involved at all with the winner selection. That was all independent adjudicated. But then we were given the winner, and you reached out, Hannah. Do you want to explain?
Yeah, so she was called Jane, and she was from Saltburn. Yep. So that was quite interesting, actually, because we expected somebody that lived in one of the cities to win, but it was actually someone from a coastal town. And she basically entered because her son lives in Leeds, and she went to visit, and he found a car and told her to go and find one.
Right.
And then you obviously went to surprise her, didn't you?
I know. Yeah. So we found the winner, and then we tried to, I think given the amount of content we made during the activation, it was only right that we tried to make content with the winner.
Yeah.
And we really wanted to get this surprise, very like postcode lottery. You won.
Yeah, classic.
So we tried to be as vague as possible with telling Jane she might have won.
Yeah.
And then, I went up with Ursa from our team, and we knew where she lived, and we had the prize car there ready to go, ready to surprise her. She genuinely didn't know we were coming that day. And I went and knocked on her door, and I was like, do you have any idea why I'm here? And then I think she probably did, given my lanyard and the little heads up. But she was made up. She was incredibly gracious.
Her son was
and
gutted.
was just
Yeah, you would be, wouldn't you?
we got her son on FaceTime.
Yeah.
Because I think he also found a car. He also entered, so they both found one. But it was his mum that won. And
brilliant.
She was lovely, and really really good to film with.
Cool. So looking back at those goals you ran through with us at the start, you've obviously finished now. We've got a winner.
Yes.
Done all our posts.
How are we
sleep.
Looking?
Yeah, you can sleep
for the first time in 6 months.
But how are we looking against those kind of targets that you set up at the start?
Yeah, smashed it, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
It was all vindicated.
Nice.
All those late nights.
Yeah. So we got. So obviously we set the target of 20,000 new followers. We actually got 73,000 new followers. And then in terms of the accounts reached, we reached 8 million, and our target was 5. So exceeded that one too. And then we had 60 million content views, and we set the target of 20 million. So we really exceeded all of those targets. And I think not just looking at the numbers, but also like the positive sentiment and the public response that we got was just insane, wasn't it? We had so many messages and comments, people saying they had so much fun, great marketing, they loved the activation, and loads of lovely comments.
Oh yeah, that really like made it worthwhile. Is seeing the kind of the response from everyone nationwide as well, like truly reflective of like the whole country. It was amazing.
Cool. So final question for you both. Would you do it all again? Because it sounds like it was a bit of a challenge.
I would.
Yeah. I think so, right?
Yeah. It was just like the results made it all so worth it. And I think despite it being quite stressful, it was actually a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the stress comes with the territory, I think, when you're doing something this ambitious.
Yeah.
So definitely nothing to shy away from doing again.
Yeah.
It's just like, what would we do?
Yeah.
How do we make it bigger?
Should we brainstorm now? Have you got any ideas, Callum?
Absolutely not. This is not my territory.
What's your content strategy?
I look forward to seeing what you guys end up doing. I will not be part of it.
Yeah.
Cool. So thanks Tom and Hannah for jumping on the podcast and chatting through the car hunt. And thanks to everyone for listening. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Spotify. And we'll catch you again next time.
Thanks,
both.
Callum.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.